Hi everybody, and welcome to the start of a brand new Let's Play. It's a pretty obscure one, to be honest with you. Pretty obscure game. This is Xanadu EX Plus, developed by Falcom, who best known for doing their the Trails of Cold Steel games, which are games that I've never played, but apparently are really good, really good action RPGs. The original version of this game released on the Vita in 2015. For the sorry, what am I saying? Released in 2015 for the PlayStation Vita, as you can see. And then the EX Plus version with updated with some extra dungeons and update and some more story that was added. That was released in 2016 in Japan and 2017 everywhere else. But this is a game I only played for the first time last year. I only learned about it last year. It's a kind of basically a JRPG, which is kind of Persona-esque, with its but with an action combat style. And right away we're meeting our main protagonist, the main character we get to play as in this game. Where's his name? There you go. Ko Tokisaka. So yeah, he's typical anime protagonist, really, because that's a lot of this game. It's very anime-esque in the way that it's with its characters and with its structure. In terms of what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be playing this game on New Game Plus. And New Game Plus is actually quite a cool little thing on this game. You get to basically complete the game once, and you get to spend a number of points. Oh, I wonder if she's the main character. Probably. There you go. The next main character, or next one of the big characters we get to see. But yeah, New Game Plus. So basically, you earn points by throwing through the game, and then you get to spend them on various options. So basically stuff like keep your character level, keep grid level, keep soul level, keep all currency. So the character level, skill grid, and soul level basically are stuff for battle. Keep all currency, keep item, and keep all items. That stuff is basically you just keep the money you're left with, finish the game with, as well as all the health and restoring items and that kind of thing. You also get 3 costumes. The bath towel costume, the school swimsuit, and other costumes, which that's kind of lame. But yeah, the bath costume, oh my god. Typical anime there, but anyway. And the other costume are basically like different options. So there are different options throughout the game where characters will like co-op his work gear, and you can kind of play those in when you're going through dungeons. You can also unlock start the game with 200,000 yen, so more money, and you can also start the game with Infinity Mode on. Infinity Mode, basically all monsters receive a 50 level bonus, so it makes the game difficult. So you can make the game more difficult for yourself by giving all the monsters a 50 level bonus. And talking about what's on screen finally, basically this is very typical kind of anime, bullshit. The 2 delinquents chasing down the cute girl in a school uniform at night. It's kind of a basic anime trope, I suppose, and they're supposed to be kind of shit kind of characters. Yeah. Something else just to mention as well, there's no English voice acting in this game at all. It's all Japanese with English subtitles. it's like with stuff like this, you could really tell that it is like basically a Vita game which has been kind of remastered and upscaled to kind of work on the PlayStation 4. You can tell in particular with backgrounds and also with, you know, like the cars and the buildings, because they all look very square, very cube-like, very low res. And of course he has to get involved, doesn't he? Because of course he does, main character. But I will say the character models still look pretty nice. I think the character models look really good in this game, actually. Nicely detailed, and they look pretty good. So obviously a lot of effort went into those. So yeah, a portal's opened up in the middle of nowhere, and we've been teleported to this weird world. This is something I really like about this game. You get into the first kind of dungeon of the game. You're introduced to the dungeon within the first. Looking at this game, like the first 5 minutes, you kind of get introduced to what the dungeons are going to look like, and you know, what the portals are going to look like, how you're going to enter them, and all that kind of thing. We're not going to be doing actual, you know, proper exploration and battles for a little while. To be fair, sorry about that, but it's still nice that they introduce you to the main elements of the game pretty quickly. They introduce you to the two of the main characters, and give you access and tell you and show you like what the dungeons are going to look like, and kind of give you get you into the story really fucking quickly. And so yeah, and we're getting into gameplay within 7 minutes. That's not bad. It's way better than, you know, fucking Persona. I mean, Persona 4 and 5. 4 Golden's the worst. That's like 3 to 4 hours before you're fighting, you know, doing any battles whatsoever. Persona 5, I think it's like a couple of hours. I mean, it's not bad, don't get me wrong, because like you're still getting a lot of character development and kind of world building and that kind of thing. But on repeated playthroughs, it can make it a bit of a slog. Like I said, it's nothing too interesting. You're just wandering around, running down corridors. Yeah, so you kind of just running down corridors, but it's nice to get introduced to this fantastical element of the game pretty early on. But yeah, this is very much like a Persona-esque game where you have like your high school stuff where you know, go through the normal, the normal world, if you like, and then you meet up, you meet up with characters and you kind of talk to them and, you know, build up relationships and all that kind of thing to build up your stats. And then at the same time you have the battle system, where you go into dungeons and you fight monsters with your soul device, which is something that we're getting introduced to here, which is a very kind of I don't know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a bit Sailor Moon-esque, kind of the summoning of the weapons and that kind of thing. I will say I really like Hiragi's weapon design. It looks really awesome. I do love the sword design. I do love swords normally, so but it does look badass. And yeah, this is just kind of like a introductory thing of, you know, you think she's kind of not, you know, going to be in a bit of trouble with these delinquents, but nah, she's pretty much just, you know, a complete and total badass who can handle herself with relative ease. So our main character didn't have to get involved at fucking all, to be honest. But there you go. It's how it normally goes, eh? I mean, it's just his day, right? You know, normal everyday things. Getting sucked into a portal, seeing a girl from class wield a sword out of nowhere and kick demons' asses. Pretty amazing. pretty normal day. Oh, come on. Don't be so mean. I was just trying to do the right thing there, to be honest. But, you know. Typical anime protagonist. Gets involved at anything and just gets, you know, smacked down for good measure. But anyway. And then we have this little bit of a... Sorry. And then we have this little thing which happens where she kind of erases our memory and makes us think that it was all just a dream. So yeah, this is something rare where, you know, in the Persona games you never get this kind of thing where it's just like everything goes, you find the fantasy world thing and then you're just kind of stuck in there. And no, this time you get kind of given an out. And I'm only going to show this once because this shows at the beginning of every single chapter in the fucking game. This kind of anime cutscene. Kind of anime intro scene, I guess. It's pretty... I actually like the animation. And we're introduced to a lot of the main cast here. We'll meet all those relatively soon. But as you can see, it's typical... you know, anime bullshit. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but it is 100% true. And some of these we won't be meeting for quite a while. But yeah, they're pretty much all of them are pretty simple kind of, you know, a lot of the characters are anime kind of stereotypes, but they're actually kind of, at the very least, interesting and entertaining to kind of play as, or to, you know, to learn about and all that kind of thing. And yeah, everybody has their own. All the main cast have their own different weapons. And what's kind of cool about this game is that, with a lot of JRPG, action RPGs anyway, you kind of play as just one character. And you kind of get new weapons kind of along the way. With this one, we get to play as many different characters. I think we get like 8 or 9 different characters to play as between now and the end of the game. All of which have their own unique weapons and skills. So they're actually pretty... It's actually one of the best parts about this game is just getting to play with all the different weapons and stuff. So we start with Chapter 1, The Eclipse. Sorry about that. Oh, I think our main character might be dreaming here. You can tell from the sepia tone. So yeah, obviously, this is another kind of stereotype, another kind of cliche. The main character having some kind of trauma from when he was a young kid. That's going to come into play into the main story much later on, though. Yeah, that pillow doesn't look very comfy, to be honest. It looks kind of square. Oh well. Next new character, Shiori Kurashiki. And like I said, it's pretty much she's the kind of childhood best friend kind of archetype, which is often used in, in a lot of anime and stuff like that. I would say she's kind of she's a sweet and likable character, but she doesn't really do much for a large chunk of the game. So she kind of really at the beginning of the game, for the first number of hours, what she is pretty much just a character that just kind of deals with kind of two main roles, either to be the damsel in distress or just to kind of deal with Ko's bullshit in the real world kind of thing. And yeah, you can't remember what happened last night because, well, his memory got erased. So of course he wouldn't know. He don't know how he got home either. By the way, it pretty much, you can infer from that Hiragi kind of carried him back to his house. Which, damn, she must be fucking strong to be able to do that. And of course, that's another it's another kind of stereotype, kind of archetype kind of thing for this kind of story. The main character's parents are kind of away. It's not really explained, I don't think, from what I remember. It's just like they're away for work or something. It's kind of similar to, but to be fair, that's done in Persona as well. I mean, before Golden, you're shipped off to the country with your uncle because your parents are off doing work abroad. And then in Persona 5, you're kind of, you're a delinquent. And you kind of get shipped off to the city to kind of, because you got expelled, and you're basically just told, go straighten yourself out in Tokyo. So yeah, not really much to be said there. It's a a story thing which is done in a lot of these kind of stories. It's a thing that's done in a lot of these kind of stories anyway. My apologies, sorry about that. But yeah, I do actually really like She already seems to be spotting something. That's going to come into play in a little bit. That is something I really like, actually. I really do like the character designs. They all have unique designs, which I kind of like. Yeah, so now we're introduced to Ryota and June, the two kind of best friend characters for Ko, and this is kind of Ko's kind of friendship group. Ryota, June, and Shiori are the ones that he hangs out with the most. Just in the real world kind of thing. And it's very much like it's very much like Persona in the fact that they're going to get involved in all the supernatural bullshit that's going to happen, because of course they are. You're going to get caught up in it because you're near the main character, aren't you? I will say I do like Ryota's kind of banter and the way he talks with Ko. It's kind of believable. It's a very believable kind of best friend kind of relationship that they have. I kind of he's fun. They're fun to watch. They're fun to see interact with each other, basically. Late for school. Oh shit! Time to run. I like that. The little angry cross that goes over the teacher's head. It's like, you're fucking late. Get in there, you piece of shit. Second period. Oh, I hated math. Math sucks. One thing that I do like actually about this game is that different from Persona, the Persona series, you don't have to do any kind of tests or answer any questions. So yeah. Anyway, this is Toa Kokonoe. She's a teacher. I know. But as is done with most of these things, yeah, she's related to Ko. Kind of her cousin, I think she is. Oh, Ko's her cousin. That's what I mean. What the fuck? Yeah, there you go, cousin. They're cousins. So yeah, isn't that just a kind of a miracle? It's like everything's related to the main character or something. Oh! Wow, there's a bit of a... Yeah, and that kind of happens. That happens early on where she kind of calls Ko by the wrong, calls him by his name. It's just like, ugh. Just kill me. Yeah, I can understand his thought process there. Embarrassing as fuck. I didn't realise there was some, yeah, I'm sorry about that. There was a bit of a video hiccup there. I didn't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much. Because I think the first recording session was like the first 4 parts, so yeah, that's going to be scary. And so who's going to answer the question? Of course, it's Hiragi. She's kind of basically portrayed as kind of like the main, kind of super intelligent kind of perfect girl, if you like. Well, that is rare. One of the rare. She is because she's from overseas, I think. Like she was originally born here and then moved over and lived in America for a long time, I think. From what I remember of her backstory. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, so she's kind of super intelligent but kind of humble with it. Typical, teacher's pet kind of thing. Whatever. Not the end of the world. Ryota. Yeah, there you go. International student. I think she was originally from Japan, but then she kind of came here but then she's originally in Japan, went to America and came back, basically. And of course, there's something more to her than meets the eye, and he kind of thinks that maybe he remembers her, and she's kind of like, don't remember me, bitch. Anyway, that's going to be it for the first part. Yeah, I know, not a lot happened, but, that's JRPGs for you. And join me next time for the next part, when we're going to be doing more of the kind of real-life stuff with Ko, and we're also going to be, and the story's going to continue on, and probably going to get into more kind of supernatural shenanigans. So I'll see you next time for the next part of Tokyo Xanadu EX+. See you next time.